How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of West Coast wittiness in the form of Pariahah Brewing's. It's their off-white wit. Yeah, Pariahah Brewing. I've had a couple of their beers previously. They sent off a bunch of haze and a little bit of fruited stuff when I first kind of had a couple of their beers, and subsequently they have sent me off stuff that kind of tickles me pink as of late. This one is a Witbier. Previously, they sent me off a kind of a soft lager. I believe it was like a Pilsner Kolsch beer. And the one previous to this, the one in the same box as this one, Dirty Glass Mafia, the one in the same box as this one was an IPA. There was a lot of fuckduckery going on with the hops, so I appreciate that. But as far as this beer goes, I've never had this before. It is what they call an off-white wit, Belgian-style white ale brewed with honey, green tea, lemongrass, orange slices, and ginger. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this one. But she honestly looks like a hazy. Sure, your white wit beer, your hef is the original hazy beer when you talk about breweries kind of lamenting not being on the hazy beer train. First one that comes to mind right now is Witbier Brothers, and they actually kind of go out of their way to talk about they make the United States' first original hazy beer, which is their Witbier. So it kind of looks like that. It looks like a new school kind of hazy. Nice soft carbonation to her. Yeah. Playing the part decently. Let's see if we can get a nose. Honestly, more than not, I get like that soft kind of like lemongrass vibe in there. There's lemongrass, ginger. I never get. They talked about what beers: orange blossom, honey, fragrant jasmine green tea, lemongrass, and sweet orange slices and fresh ginger. So that lemongrass comes through really nice. There's a soft dryness about it. I assume maybe that's the honey at play. And then you talk about the other components in there. Orange slices and the green tea, sure. There's a little soft tannic vibe in there. Sure, there's a little bit of citrus. We're going to get that in most beers in general. But it's really just a soft, non-banana, non-bubblegummy wit. So it's more of an American-style wit with a soft lemongrass vibe to it. Kind of dig that. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, okay. It's kind of tart. Didn't expect that. Super Crusher. Super Crusher, but it leaves a little bit of soft, dry cardboardiness in there. I think there's a little bit of oxidation going on in the can, but really it's that lemongrass to a tea. Definitely get the ginger in there, and all the other components. Sure, if there's honey in there, it's coming more off as more of a kind of brute effect, as more of a drying effect, as opposed to kind of sweetener effect. When you're talking about orange slices, I mean, there's a soft citrus vibe to it, but nothing too telling. And it's okay. It's fine. There's that soft kind of cardboardy oxidation that kind of really kind of sets it, kind of jars it out of place. It's probably the most kind of negative part of the beer that, how do I put it this way? It's negative. It's not overt. It's not going to make you be like, oh, I hate this beer. But it's, I think I've said this before. If you've ever watched like a movie, a streaming movie, and you get to a really good part of the movie and it buffers, when that movie buffers, it kind of disconnects you from the moment. It's like you're into it. It's just awesome. What's going to happen next? And all of a sudden, everything freezes, and you're like, what the fuck? What's going on? And it buffers. The movie starts again. And you're like, okay, this is still cool, but now I'm kind of disconnected from the moment because that buffering kind of knocked me loose a little bit. That's the way the cardboard kind of plays on this. When you have those soft kind of negative vibes in beers, it's not necessarily gonna kind of ruin a beer for you, but more often than not, it kind of disconnect you from having this kind of awesome experience with it. And that's kind of where this one comes, because as I talk, where I'm not actually sipping the beer, I'm getting a ton of that kind of orange slice now. The lemongrass is marrying with it, so you get that big bright lemongrass at the beginning. You get a soft ginger, kind of starts to fade away, and it starts to ramp up again. You get that nice rich kind of that orange slice with a little bit of added sweetness, so that maybe your honey at play. So there's a depth and complexity to this beer, but there's just that little kind of knock of dryness, that little bit of cardboardiness that kind of disconnects it for me and makes it not necessarily a bad beer, but just a beer that's just not as fantastical, for the lack of a better term. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's one of the better wit beers I've had. I'm gonna classify it specifically as, is it one of the better American wit beers that I've had? Because that's what this is. There is no traces of German. There's no traces of that kind of Belgian wit in here. You're not getting banana. You're not getting clove. You're not getting that richness of that kind of that typical German Belgian wit that you'd expect from those beers. It tastes more like a ramped up, kind of jacked up version of American wit. So if I was going to classify it as a German one, it'd be on a lower scale of things. As far as Americans go, it's one of the higher ones. Listen, American wit beer is about as boring as American blonde ale. They are less exciting than a macro lager to me half the time. So if you're going to kind of throw it in that kind of realm, I kind of dig it. Especially as a summer crusher. You're talking about, just Warrior hops, Pilsner, wheat, oats, and it's a 5.4% alcohol by volume beer. It's a nice chugger. It's not going to be offensive, and that's going to be heavy on your palate. It's nice. It's fun. I dig it. But at the same time, it's, it is what it is. It's an American wit that's a little bit better than most. So yeah, let's put it there. Value availability. No idea. Pariahah sends them, and leave you with, if you like, you like this beer. If you like American wits, but you want a little bit more. If you like German or Belgian wits, you want a little bit different, a little bit less. That's where this one's going to land for you. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little wit beer right now. See you next time. Cheers.